Good day, everyone. Apologies for keeping you waiting so long. It's just life happening and it's busy, but I've really tried to make some time to get back to making you these notes because I know most of you are busy with exams and you need these notes. So, not to waste any time, let's get into it. The previous time we ended at the public company, but as you can see, there are still some things we need to discuss of a public company. So very first, we start with shareholders can sell or transfer sales freely. So as you can see the pictures, I really hope the pictures help you. The picture says it all. If I have shares and I don't want them anymore, I can transfer them to someone else, like a family member, or I can sell them to get my money back. For a public company, there is continuity, meaning if one of the other shareholders pass away, the company is still continuing. It's not stopping because one person passed away. The limited liability, again, if I only contribute 10% of the company's finance, I'm only liable for 10% of the debts. Okay, so that's a very good thing. Shareholders receive profits according to the type and number of their shares. Now you would see there are 4 different shareholders. If you watch closely, they don't have the same amount of money. Again, if I only contribute to 10% of the company's finance, then I will only get 10% of the profits. So you cannot only pay 10% of the debts and expect to get more than 10% profits. It is exactly according to what you invested, that is the amount you will pay, but also the amount you will receive. Next up, we get obtain tax rebates if involved in CSI projects. So meaning if they are involved in the community, whether it's soup kitchens or charity, they can apply to get tax back. At the end of every financial year, if we talk about tax now, they can then get some amount of money back, which will be then for CSI projects or which will then be classified as tax rebates. Then there are, I want to say, bad things. The bad things, it is difficult and expensive. There's a very good visual example for you. That poor man is struggling to get that boulder across that very steep, I want to say, it's a very steep hill, and he's struggling to get it across or over that hill. It's very difficult to actually start your own public company. It's also expensive, and there are many legal requirements needed to set up your own your public company. Next up is auditing of financial statements. It is compulsory, meaning your financial statements or your financial books needs to go into be audited every single year. It's mandatory, meaning you cannot skip it at all. Then directors may not have direct interest in the company. That means if I am a shareholder, I'm not allowed to work at the company. I do pay debts and I do receive some of the profits, but I'm not allowed to work there. I'm not allowed to have any interest in the company itself. Then dividends do not always get paid out. It might discourage new investors. Problem is, most of the time you see there's R1 million, for example, profit, and that R1 million never, or sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't get paid out. So if you know that there are some amount of profits that were made, and you're obviously going to expect that money, but sometimes it doesn't get paid out, so that would want you to actually sell your shares and leave the company as soon as possible. Then the last one, double taxation, personal income tax and company tax. That looks like a weight because it is quite a difficult thing to do. You have to pay your own tax, meaning when you take salaries, or when you get a salary, you have to pay tax on that. The same goes for company tax. If you have a company, you need to pay taxes, like income tax on your company. The next one we get is private company. A private company may not offer their shares to the general public. The shares are not freely transferable. They need a minimum of 1 director. The name must end in Pty Limited, proprietary, and then annual financial statements must be audited and published. This means it's a private company, so they are only allowed to sell their shares internally, so to the people that work at the company or the CEO and those people in the company. If I work at such a company, I'm not allowed to give that shares to one of my family members because they are not invested in this company. As you can see there's a few pictures for you as well. And the coffee cafe, it says Pty Ltd, so it is a private company. Then, the good and bad things. Good, the company can continue, so there is still continuity. It must be managed by one skilled director. It's basically almost the same as a public one. Shareholders must agree, this is a new one. The shareholders must agree on the sale of shares. So if I want to sell my shares, the shareholders all need to agree first before I can do that. Again, it's limited liability, so you only pay the amount you've invested. Tax rebates if they are involved in CSI projects. Then they also receive profits according to their shares. Then the bad things, legal requirements, the same as the public company. Decision making takes time because there are a lot of shareholders. Dividends also not paid out. They are not listed on the JSE, meaning they cannot sell the shares publicly, meaning they struggle to get capital. Then the directors act in their own interest. Mostly if they feel something will be good for them, they're going to do it. Not necessarily good for their business. Again, there's double taxations. Then the last one, state-owned company. They are financed by government. The name ends with CSO, of SOC, sorry. They are listed as public company, and then it's managed by the government and not individuals. A very good example there is Eskom. Eskom is a government company, meaning the government supplies it and no one else actually sells electricity except for them. Then a good thing is it eliminates economic exploitation, meaning they try to make sure that everyone has the same, or that there is fairness. They also try to provide essential services like water and electricity. They have limited liability, and then the profits finance the other departments. So they don't take out the profits for themselves, they need to finance the other departments in the government. They also try to create jobs for all types of skill levels. Then there is continuity. Then the bad things. They suffer from inefficiency in management, meaning people that are in these management positions, they don't manage as they should. Management don't implement innovations, meaning if there are new ideas, they don't really try to do it, they like it old-fashioned. Then, unfortunately, if the business like a SOC, like a state company, or for example Eskom, have a loss, the loss needs to be covered by the taxpayers, which is us. As soon as you are working more than minimum wage, a certain percentage goes for tax. That money goes to the government. The government lose money if the business fail, so that's obviously a very bad thing for us. And then lastly, it is the financial statements must also be audited. I really hope this helped. Let me know if there's something specifically you want me to look at for you, or if there's something you still don't understand. Good luck!